amazing call today with a Carrot member, and I'm driving home right now. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I was there with my church community group tonight with my wife and some amazing friends. And I was thinking about this because I realized that as the 100 and some odd episodes of the CarrotCast have unfolded, and as the past year and a half to 2 years has unfolded, actually 2 years since we started the CarrotCast has unfolded, what's changed in my life and what's changed in my business, that there's been a lot of lessons, a lot of people, a lot of thoughts that have popped through my brain and other people's brains into this podcast. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you that listens to this podcast and that pulls away stories and that pulls away things that can hopefully change your perspective and change your life. And I'm always grateful whenever people reach out to me and let me know that something impacted them, or they reach out to me and ask me questions to fill in gaps where I maybe didn't fill in. And that's kind of what this podcast is about. So Ben, hopefully you don't mind I kind of share a little bit about our conversation. That he'll keep it confidential. But Ben, who is a client of ours, really successful real estate investor, and has been listening to the CarrotCast for quite some time, and he works really closely with us on a lot of things. And he reached out to me for a call, and because we work with him on so many different things, he's on our concierge level services and a bunch of cool things. I'm like, man, I would be pumped to hop on a phone call with Ben again, because I always love having conversations with him. And when we hopped on there, he said some things that hit me, and I think this is going to hit a lot of people. So if you go back in the archives of the CarrotCast, a lot of what I'll talk about is positivity, is also the real parts of entrepreneurship, the good, bad, and the ugly. Or we'll bring on friends like my mentor, Seth Bueckley, and he talks about ambition and you know, how to really bridle that ambition so it doesn't flame you out, but so it really serves you in your mission. I'll bring other people on like Jeff Woods from The One Thing that talk about asking bigger questions. If you want bigger answers, if you want bigger things in life, you got to ask bigger questions. And we'll bring people on like Tang Nguyen and the Odd Brothers and a bunch of other people who are doing 100 plus deals a year, and this amount here and this amount there. And it's really easy to feel a sense of insignificance. It's really easy to pull back and go, man, like, is there something wrong with me? Am I not thinking big enough? I don't want to think bigger. Like, I really love my life the way that it is. And I am living the way that I charted my entrepreneurship journey when I started out. I think there might be some of you who are listening to this, a lot of you probably, who are in that mindset. And let me just kind of put your mind at rest and also give you an action plan moving forward. So when is enough? When is enough? Okay. And this is something that I've thought about a lot, because I remember back when I was up in Portland, Oregon, this would have been 2007 or so, graduated college in 2005, got married in 2006, went up to Portland, Oregon with my wife in 2007. And during that time, I had these goals, and I had this thought in my mind of what I thought the world would be like, what I thought my life would be like, my wife and I, our marriage would be like, just how the world would open up when I hit this point in income. And at that time, it wasn't that big. I've told this story before, but it wasn't that big. My initial income goal was just $4,000 a month. I had some rental properties, but all that cash flow, all the money from those just stayed in the rental property account, and I didn't take any of it out because I just didn't have enough for reserves over and above, the money that was coming in. So my initial goal was $4,000 a month. And when I had set that goal, I had these ideas in mind. Okay, once that happens, then I'll get this freedom. Once that happens, then we'll be able to do these things that we can't do now. And it was really like crazy hard for me that first year and a half to finally figure out, how do I make $4,000 a month from my own company? It wasn't easy. For me, it wasn't anyway. I met some other people who just crushed it and they figured it out in their first year. Brian Rockwell, after 13 years of studying and finally jumping out there and just committing, he crushed it, did $600 and something thousand his first year with Carrot. 100% of his deals came from Carrot. I didn't do that. Okay, it took me years and years to get to $600,000 in revenue. Years. Okay, the first year out of the gates as an entrepreneur, I made about $14,000 total. And then I think it was a year and a half to 2 years, and then I finally figured out how to make $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. And then after that, things got easier. Okay, and once I hit the $4,000 a month, your aspirations kind of move sometimes. Like, hey, this was the number I had before, and here's a specific reason why that number mattered. But as you get closer to it, the bar changes. As you get closer to it, we have new standards now. As you get closer to it, you might be surrounding yourself with new people because you're at a new income level or success level. And now those people are operating some parts of their life at a higher level than you. And you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to be shooting higher. I need to be thinking bigger. And I think it's not a cancer, but it's a disease. It's a disease within entrepreneurs, within ambitious people, that we set out for an outcome, and then once we get it, it's not good enough. We set out for a result, and once we get it, it's not good enough. We set out for something that we really truly feel is going to add freedom, it's going to add flexibility, it's going to unlock those, it's going to add finances and really unlock the financial part of your life, and hopefully someday you can make a big impact as well. You finally reach those things that are going to fully enable that, and now it's not good enough. So when is enough enough? When is good enough good enough? And I think that answer is different for everybody. And I don't want anyone listening to this CarrotCast to ever feel guilty for being at a phase in your life or being at just having certain goals that are your goals. These are your goals. It's your life. You've got your own unique background that others don't have. You have your own unique makeup that others don't have. Maybe that other person who's just pushing, and they're already doing 20, 25 deals a month. They want to do 30 or 35 now. But what if they're overworked? And what if they're not crazy happy in their work? Why do they want to do more deals? Like, I don't know. Because they're looking for validation oftentimes. I'm not saying this every time, but they may be looking for validation in that achievement. They may be looking for validation in, can I reach this level? They may be looking for validation for those around them, or they're wanting to up level the people that they can consider themselves being in that stratus. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it could be dangerous if we continue to push and continue to go, okay, I reached that goal. I thought I would reach this. I thought I'd have this happiness. But now, you know what? I just don't feel it. But maybe if I do more, maybe if I do more deals, maybe if I do this, maybe if I push this harder, maybe if I work more, then that happiness, then that fulfillment, then that ikigai, which I'll explain ikigai in another podcast, then that ikigai will finally truly be within my grasp. And I can tell you from experience that that's not true, and that's not the way that I suggest to tackle life. And now, and this is one thing I'm actually talking about this as I go through my own journey with it. Right? It's hard sometimes to go, well, shoot, you know, we've blown past any goals we ever thought we would ever go for at Carrot. My original goals were like, maybe we can get to 500 or 1,000 clients and we can really, really help a lot of people. And then at the end of the day, we blew past that. We're thousands and thousands and thousands of active clients now. By far the most impactful company in our industry doing what we do. But that wasn't because of the income. The income has been the result, and it's fun. It's awesome having that extra income. But it's because our goals and our mission was bigger. So this is what I want to throw at you. When is enough enough? Enough is enough when you truly feel at your core that the work you're getting up to do every single day not only fires you up, it lights you up, it adds life to you, it gives you energy, and it gives you purpose, and it helps you fulfill that greater purpose and mission within you. If your work or business ever stops becoming that, and it becomes more of a chasing numbers, chasing income, comparing with the Joneses game, then I can guarantee you it's going to be diminishing returns. It's going to be diminishing happiness returns. Every hour you put into it now is going to give you back less happiness and fulfillment. And I think at that point you can have the full. I want to give you the full permission to pull back and go, okay, this is what I'd gone for so many years. I'd reached this. This is awesome. Let me just enjoy this. Let me enjoy the freedom that I have the luxury of having now because I was able to build this. Let me enjoy the flexibility that I am having now because I was able to build this. Let me finally enjoy and lock in and stabilize the finances that I'm finally lucky enough to have. Now, maybe there's some things I can do to further stabilize those finances. Maybe there's some things that I can do to further grow them even, but with less of my time. But at this point, you might be in that mindset of, you know what? I'm not looking to grow by 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, or 200%. I just want to make sure what is here is protected, and that I can have that freedom and flexibility and make the impact and not have to worry, are my finances going to go away? Not have to worry, is everything that I've built going to disappear or go backwards because I'm paranoid? And I think that's very, very easy for entrepreneurs to be paranoid. Paranoia, I think, is a very, very common thing for high-achieving people, because you start to go down that route of achievement. You start to go down that route of goals. You reach certain things that you work so hard for. I'm just pulling up to my house here. You reach certain things that you work so hard for, and now you don't want them to go away. You don't want them to disappear. And I think that's normal. So how do you deal with this? What I'd like you to do is this, okay? Write down those initial goals that you had set when you first became an entrepreneur. Write down those initial dreams, those aspirations, that if I can finally reach this in my life, then X will happen. Then I will feel X. Then this is how life will be. If then. Because oftentimes, way back then, that's the way we think about life and achievement. If I can reach this, if I can hit this income level, if I can get in shape, I can finally find the guy or the gal. If I can do this, I can finally blah, 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 whatever it is. If then. Write down your if-thens. What were your if-thens years ago before you started to be an entrepreneur? To remind yourself that was your initial success point. And now look at where you are right now. Write that down. Write down where you are right now with those if-thens. Did you pass them? Did you celebrate them? Are they still valid? Like, would those things that you dreamt of years ago, would those still give you what you were hoping? Would those still give you freedom? Would those still give you flexibility? Will they still give you fulfillment in that time to spend doing things that you love to do? If so, I would seriously look at the potential of adjusting your business, either down or hiring people to run lots of it so you can regain more of your time, or getting a business partner to do something over here, whatever it is. I would definitely seriously consider going, okay, maybe I should just live in that moment, live in those success goals, those success points I had set years ago, and finally enjoy life, finally enjoy this entrepreneurship thing. Or you need to look at the other side of it and go, okay, yes, those were amazing, and I could totally do that. But you know what? I have greater perspective now that I've had a chance to dig in. I have greater perspective now for the impact I can truly make with this vehicle of entrepreneurship. And if you're there, like I am right now, where I blew past those income goals, and I could totally have all the freedom I want to have right now, guys. I totally could. But when you want to make a big impact, you have to trade freedom in some way, shape, or form for impact. You have to trade freedom for greater impact. If you want to make a great impact, there has to be some sort of trade in freedom. And right now, because I wanted to make a really big impact with Carrot and our team and our community and all the lives that we hear that we're changing with our podcast and with our product and just with the way that we do business, and we look at all the people out there that we can still serve and change, we see the wave of positivity, we see the wave of possibility, we see just the wave of changing the way people do business that is in front of us that we can capture and that we can help push forward. That right there charges me up. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to now trade my previous dreams, my previous standards that would totally help me get freedom. I'm willing to trade a chunk of that so I can make impact today. So I want you to think about those things, okay? When is enough enough? I think enough is enough if your business has taken you to the point that it's serving you as much as it can possibly serve you. Okay, if your business is no longer the vehicle to make the impact that fires you up and that is completely what lights you up in your life, then you should look at the financial side of it and go, okay, why do I need to keep pushing farther? Why do I need to keep comparing myself against other people? Why do I feel guilty for not thinking big? You shouldn't feel guilty. You should enjoy this amazing company that you've created and find ways to stabilize it and make it to where it gives you the freedom and flexibility that you're wanting so you can enjoy this phase of your life. I'm going to have a phase like that in the future, in the near future, I'm sure. I don't know how near, but sometime in the near future. Okay. Probably next decade. I don't know, something like that. I'm going to have one of those phases because I really want one. Like, I don't dislike freedom. I love freedom. I love flexibility. I love it all. Okay. But I just feel right now I'm 36 years old. I think this is just a perfect time to trade some of that to make a greater impact. okay, while we have this great opportunity. But I'm not going to sacrifice some things that are the most important to me. I'm not going to sacrifice that time with family. I'm not going to sacrifice relationship with family, with my loved ones. And this business doesn't. But I do need to add some more intentionality around making sure that the time that I am investing with my family and friends and my hobbies and just all that, all those important things, that it's more purposeful. Okay, so when is enough, y'all? It's enough, like I said, when the business has served you to its max capacity. And the second that you feel that you're not getting full fulfillment from that business anymore, or the second that you feel that a bigger goal or a bigger ambition is not going to unlock something that's important to you, then just don't do that. Be happy, be content, be grateful in the business that you've got. Lock in on that income that's serving you and giving that freedom and flexibility, and just enjoy the heck out of it. And who knows, maybe in a year or 2 or 5 or 10 years, you might have this new spark of impact that you go, you know what? I'm entering a new phase. I'm pumped about leveraging this business or a new business or whatever it is to make a greater impact. And I'm willing to trade some freedom and some flexibility for impact today. Okay, live the season that you're in, enjoy it. Report back to me and hit me up with questions you have, with insights you have, with gaps that you have in some of the podcast. And I hope that I inspire you with our stories, with my story and with other people's stories. I hope that you also look at it from the perspective of your own story. Never compare you against me. I've got a bit different backstory. I've got different aspirations. Never compare that, okay? I think a lot of people look at me and be crazy, going, why are you continuing to push? Like, why are you continuing to want to grow and grow your team and take on these challenges when you're netting taxable income well into the 7 figures a year? It's like, why are you doing that? It's because I've got a big impact to make, y'all. The money is just a byproduct. I don't spend the money I've got. I've got a big impact to make. And I'm pumped that we've got the platform to help many of you guys and gals do the same thing. All right, so I actually met Ben at Carrot Camp, and I'm just so excited for his future, for his current business as well, and just for him to finally release that guilt as much as he can around not thinking big enough, or not really wanting to dig in and quote unquote hustle. Dude, I'm just so proud of you to be able to recognize where you are and recognize, you know what? This business is a tool, and I'm going to make sure that business serves me the way that it should in this phase of my life. I love it. And also, anyone else who wants to come to the Carrot Camp, we already have half of the spots full in May. We haven't even sent an email out yet. Some amazing investors coming up. And we have 2 amazing ladies that have already signed up as well. So we've been looking for to add more of the female element to Carrot Camp. So I'm excited that we have a couple ladies, amazing investors that are signed up for Carrot Camp. So we're really excited about that. But go to CarrotCamp.com. We have the May dates open. Go to CarrotCamp.com. They are going to sell out probably before the end of the year, is my guess. If they do, we're potentially thinking about opening up a second Carrot Camp that week. It's not a for sure. We are going to keep a high level, but we're potentially thinking about, hey, do we do a Carrot Camp the first half of the week and Carrot Camp the second half of the week and make it amazing? We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But we love you guys. Have an amazing evening, amazing rest of the night. Ask yourself, when is enough in this phase of your life? Be convicted with it and enjoy what your company has created.